I ain't gonna have y'all waiting too long because I ain't trying to play no damn game. So let's just get to it. Let me get back to the screen now so I can see what's up, make sure everything running alright. Alright, so a couple of people gonna be mad if they can read between the lines of what I'm about to say. And if they can't, or if they do, I really don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be clear and make this clear right now so I can be a reminder to the people who have been on my channel and for the people who are new. I'm not here to make you like me. I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to have fun when I make my Sims videos. But other than that, I'm not playing no fucking games no more. I always been real on my shit. I ain't never said nothing to get no fucking attention. And I ain't never been desperate for it. Any motherfucker who's actually listened to me talk knows getting attention ain't hard. But getting the right kind of attention proves to be the most difficult. Or right, meaning what I'm trying to achieve at that time. Because I can get attention, but usually when I'm fucking pissed off. So I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm pissed and you might enjoy that. I'm also very calm, so don't start trying to read me and, what's the word, pathologize me and all this bullshit. Trust me, you're not getting that far. With the exception of this moment right here. So, I've been writing about a couple of different things. Right now, what's popping right now is Kanye West. First of all, I'm not even going to go on that topic just yet because he's not finished. Yeah, I said it. He's not finished. So I'm going to let him finish. And then I'll come back and talk about everything the man has done. And that's it. No more comments. But no, I wrote the title, Fucked an Entire Generation, because I have questions. And I'm not asking shit. I'm never really asking shit. They're rhetorical. All my questions are rhetorical. You are free to respond. If you would like, you don't have to. But I just am very concerned with what I've witnessed in multiple communities, in particular the gay male community, black gay male community, because I ain't fucking with anybody who ain't brown. I live in a predominantly black ass area. It's really not difficult to not see non-black people. Latinos are filling in, but that's pretty much all I see. Anybody who's like scientific enough about it can probably pinpoint my location based on that information. I live in a predominantly black area. So I can't talk about other people. But I'm going to say this. What the fuck is going on? I'm going to list a few pieces of information so you can kind of get where my thoughts are at. I was having a conversation. I'm always having a conversation, but I was talking to my dad and a couple other people about this topic, and I said, I don't know what happened, but is the rate of LGBTQ homelessness greater than it's ever been? Like, is that a truth? Like, is that the truth? Like, are there more homeless people who are queer or trans or whatever, who are homeless due to a very intentional removal from the home, from the network, and essentially from a city, state, or society? And my question has really been, if those numbers are much different now compared to before, I have a lot of questions that need answers, so trust me, I will be up in the houses and living rooms of people who won't see me coming. That's how I work. And I keep mentioning that because there's this debate that's kind of going on in different spheres about whether trans men are showing up enough for trans women. And I'm going to keep repeating this point. We've been here. A lot of us don't get counted. I saw a lady, she posted a status. She was like, stop asking us to fill out a survey. There's enough surveys on us. There's enough statistics on us. She was speaking specifically about trans women, black trans women, or trans women of color. And I thought, well, sis, pass them over here. That's how you can show up for me, because niggas are not taking statistics on us. I think the last time I got asked to fill out a statistic or fill out, some information was when I did it for myself and passed it around the community. Right. And I was intentionally passed over by people asking questions about men who had sex with men. So they ain't checking for us. So sis, if you get too many like consensus reports trying to be done, pass them on to some black trans man and tell him like pass it to his networks because we need it. They're not coming to us. But it's gonna piss some people off, and like I said, I got some questions. So the reflection was like getting, you know, more LGBT homeless, you know, youth are homeless and they're getting kicked out of homes. Okay, so the numbers are super high, and if that's the truth, I just really had this reflection because I don't know, because I already felt like that there was a different number and they're kind of rocketing, and I thought something is very different in the past, something is very different in the present that's different from the past. And what I feel like in the past was that, we had more of a sense of values, whether or not they were right, whether or not they were wrong. We had a sense of it, right? We had a desire to grasp what we feel is the ultimate righteousness. We had a desire and a conviction. I think as we've gone further, this sort of black intellectualism is evolving our communities in ways that might have actually done happen in, you know, other communities, but I'm going to say that this is very much a symptom of assimilation. So in the past, it's my understanding and what I've sort of witnessed and sensed, intuited, is that you weren't kicked out for being queer. You might have been kicked out, but there was still a checking in on you because you're a Negro. We still won't keep track of you because you're a Negro, and if you do something wrong, that's gonna cause the fire to lead back down that trail you walked to start a fire outside your community. That trail is gonna come right back to you because you're black. Because you're black. Right? So it was this sense that like we can't throw our black kids out. They're still black. And more than anything, I can't throw you out just because you're not right or healthy or blessed or in God's favor. I have to try and instill the values in you, even if you do something that I don't agree with. I have to continue to work hard to instill values in you. So what I've tended to find is that it's a mixed group, but amongst the group that kind of got that religious thing and kept it, it's interesting to see. I just have questions. Why is the infection rate of HIV continually going up? And why are we not having real ass conversations about it? Like, it's all this PC shit, be safe, be comfortable. I really have questions. Because I'm going to be straight fucking honest with you, and I'm so sorry for anybody that this is triggering. I had a motherfucker who was HIV positive, who I knew was HIV positive by the point. Couldn't violate my motherfucking consent. And penetrated me. Raw. When I told him explicitly not to, I told him multiple times, don't even get close to it. Don't do that. So my thought is, should I have reached and gone to jail for this nigga's murder? Oh, but I'm sorry. People probably asking, but was he undetectable? Who gives a fuck? I don't care if he had nothing, whether I knew or didn't. The point I put up this motherfucking wall, you don't fucking cross it. So, it's pissing me off. Thank you. Tupac is very attractive. It's pissing me off that the only thing a motherfucker could say to me was, oh, well, you equals you. No, I need you to help me get this motherfucker out in the street. Because I'm not going to put my hands on him, but we're going to talk. And we're going to talk so everybody can hear it. Because I done had motherfuckers after this case got released where I could talk freely now because the motherfucker got a restraining order against me. Not the one that did that, but other people involved in it. And I asked specifically for involvement from community. Not one individual, not no motherfucker trying to talk to me behind no closed doors. Okay? I asked for multiple, for leaders, for self-proclaimed leaders, for people given the title of leader or dominant, might I say. Ain't doing their jobs. Period. And then you know what? I can keep going, but I'm not going to keep going. But I actually want to look at this comment and say, y'all, you look like Tupac become a transvestite. I don't know what you really mean by that, or if you meant what you said, because a lot of people use transvestite completely wrong. But thank you. Like I said, Tupac is attractive. I did my own haircut. I feel fabulous. I feel great. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm wearing a jersey, like a cut up jersey, because it's hot. Okay, it's hot. It's warm, getting hot, but it's warm enough for me. I'm very active, so I get hot quickly. And it's just my nature. I carry that sun energy with me. So, I just got a question that if this is a problem where we know, A, the transmission rate is just continue to go up. Yes, I play sports. Or I won't say I play sports. I'm just physically active. I do a lot of physical activities. If we know that the transmission rate is going up, and we know for my folks who were adult enough in the 80s, you know what that was like to watch motherfuckers drop like flies. I was born in 89. I remember watching TV as young as 3 years old. Like, getting a remote, I was watching ESPN. But I remember Ryan White. I remember a lot of stuff. And you can get the fuck out of here, Denmark. Like, I like fucking with people, but right now, you're getting on my fucking nerves. Like, get the fuck out. Say one more thing, bitch. Please do. Please do. Because you can go. I'm not here for your fucking games right now. I'm not offended by tricking in New York, but no, promise you, you haven't seen me there. So, I've had a slew of friends. You know what? I've reported you, and I'm going to hide you on this channel. I don't know how to do this. This is my first time using this chat thing. Like, fuck you. Get the fuck out. I don't have time for this. Like, fuck you. So, and it's my normal state. You don't have to, like, this is my normal state. I'm hot. So, you know these rates are going up. And you know what it's like to watch people just fucking drop like flies because of this. Because of innocence, because of lies. Because of truths we haven't realized, whatever you want to call it. You know what that's like. And you have a young brother come to you and say, hey, this has happened to me. A young trans brother comes to you and says, hey, this has happened to me. He's also admitting that he likes to do certain things. And let me tell you, that's a very hard pill in our community. And as I said that very openly here, but I'm beating it into people's heads. I don't give a fuck. So, you got a young brother that comes to you that says, sexual assault has happened to me all my fucking life, okay? But this is the one that I'm going to say, I'm putting my foot down, or I'm putting my foot in somebody's ass. Which I might go to jail for. Because black rage, black female rage, black male rage, any type of rage is uncalled for and unnecessary and sad. You know what's sad is a group of adult motherfuckers who have no understanding or capacity of what it takes to be a real man. A real man stands up in his community when somebody is crying out for help and says, we need to figure something out. A real man investigates. A real leather man, investigates the shit. Unless you're just full of shit, or maybe should I say full of dicks. Because I have a question. Why the fuck are these niggas sitting here fucking every dude in my neighborhood under the age of fucking 21, 18, 34? You're fucking 50, 60, 70, sometimes years old. And you say, well, if he cared more about himself, he wouldn't be here. This wouldn't happen. Hey, do you niggas not have responsibility? Do you niggas really just not have a sense of responsibility to think, you know what, I can positively or negatively impact my community? But I understand, you've probably been through so much shit, you just don't give a fuck anymore. Look, I'm going to say this. That's why nobody fucking likes you. That, I understand it now. I really am starting to grasp why people just fucking hate you. I don't give a fuck that you're a trans man and you're queer and you're femme. You're full of shit. Them niggas you roll with are fake as fuck. Like I said, some real men gonna investigate. They're gonna ask. They're gonna try and settle it. They're gonna mediate. They're gonna do something. Because the matter of the fact is, I asked. Okay? And so I'm asking again. What is going on? My generation, literally, we have, everywhere we've gone, we have learned so much fucking information. Or we've been taught so much information. We don't know what not, like, how to not protect ourselves. Like, there are very few amongst us in my generation, in my class, who don't know at least an ounce of HIV relevant information. Relevant, accurate, useful, whatever the case may be information. We might not be able to speak all that fucking track, you know, like we've been around the world, talking about the shit. They might not be able to do that, but they're able to grasp A plus B plus C and then X and Y and Z. They understand these things. So what's going on? You can sit here and say, oh, Xavier's just trash. I really beg people to not listen to you any further. You said a lot of things. And I'm telling you from my experience, none of them have been true. You renege when necessary. And you speak up when it benefits you. All that said, I really just have questions. You can answer them. You can choose to participate in your question asking, or you can sort of try to extrapolate on what the fuck has happened. What the fuck has happened between the fucking 80s and now, to where my generation, before we got out of high school, before 2007, like before I got out of fucking high school, all I could hear was that I'm going probably, this is like a 75% chance I'm going to be diagnosed with HIV. Is there anybody concerned about that? I'm not saying you're not. I'm not saying people aren't concerned. But I'm also saying, are we at our hearts, or are we just sick? We so busy doing this. We forgot to look at one another as people and try to fix the very starts of those issues. The very starts of those issues that we keep going to try to ask the government to fund, you know, the research for, and to fund the cures for, and to fund the people who like to be grassroots, and you know, get out there and do it. We keep asking for all this funding. We keep asking for this. We keep asking for that. How the fuck we just have a fucking conversation someday that is not PC? Like, literally, stop trying to do all this fucking extravagant shit and literally be basic as hell. Say, I'm gonna talk to you. Like, I'm really so inspired by that man who says, I'm going to give these motherfuckers suits. I don't care. They're getting a suit. I don't care about the conversation, about the relevance, about the politics. They're getting a fucking suit. And I know why they're going to get that suit. And I know how they're going to get it. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to deliver it to them my fucking self. And it's not going to be this bullshit between me and them. It's going to be me and you. It's going to be what needs to be done. And hopefully somebody, when you wear that suit, you get to the next point, it'll be done. So my question is, how the fuck can we help the transmission rates to go down and we not talking about it with one another? If these motherfuckers have such a high rate of homelessness, that might also mean they don't have elders around. They don't have people to learn from. They don't have anybody teaching them. They don't have anybody who's telling them what the fuck they're worth. They don't have anybody saying, yeah, you're worth even more than that. They don't have that. They have a bunch of motherfuckers trying to put dicks in their asses or in their mouths or in their hands, wherever. Boys will be boys. Well, boys will need to be much more selective. It's upsetting and it is unnerving how many motherfuckers, how much time and money they invest in partying and trying their best to stay in connection with the youth, but have no concerns for the livelihood of this individual who, and the next generation, is going to have to deal with that. So for these kids that are growing up witnessing all these deaths, because I know my generation traumatized from constantly being in war. I remember 2001, 9/11 very clearly, and I remember a lot of shit before that and after. I remember Rodney King, I remember Columbine, I remember the DC sniper, I remember just the regular niggas around the neighborhood, I remember, you know, this unidentified rapist, I remember my friend being raped on the street in front of everybody in fucking DC and nobody wanting to do anything. So I really get upset when motherfuckers want to talk about being activists and what's the other word? So justice warriors and all this other shit, but when they literally have to confront something that they themselves have done or something that they are witnessing, they can't do nothing. And if anything, they cut you the fuck off. They find all kinds of words to say you ain't this and you ain't that, and it's really talking about politics. Because the truth of the matter is, if you ever cared anything about an individual, you're not going to sit here and give a fuck about politics or give a fuck about who dragged who. You're going to go to that motherfucking director and say, yo, what is wrong with you? What have I done?
Did somebody do something? Oh, wait, you did say that, so we're going to deal with it. So, again, my question is, if these motherfuckers are really going through this shit and they're homeless and they getting stragged out to have sex and they're not making that much motherfucking money, they're not getting any new network connections because these motherfuckers are not that goddamn lucrative. If you'll pay attention to all the hype and all that, the social hype, the emphatic response to black queerness, you will see they're not employing us any greater rates. Black gay youth are not being employed more than they used to be. This is a little better, but let's be clear about who's getting in that office. Who's getting into these spaces? If you want to talk about like politics and identity and shit, like if you really want to go there, who do you see? And they doing what? And what they doing on the side to continue to sustain themselves and have a connection to some type of chemistry. The fact of the matter is you can open your door to me, but if you're not giving me any type of intellectual response or any type of empathic building, you've literally just led me to yet another empty room. I mean, some people like big houses with empty rooms, but motherfucker, I'm fine not doing that. I'm completely fine not walking up into empty-ass houses just for you to be able to say you let me in. Fuck that. Ain't shit here. I came here to be with the other civilians. But you keep taking them and moving them somewhere else. Am I making sense yet? No. Try harder. I'm just so done. I'm so done and tired of being dragged. I'm tired of being a punching bag. I'm tired of watching this crazy shit happen in these communities. And for a motherfucker to say, you know what? I'm responsible. I'm accountable. Let me stand up. I got all these problems, but you know what? Let me pick one to start with. Because if anything I told you about, that's old as shit. Trust me. I'm working on it or it's been done. So don't fucking worry about anything I told you. Like, that's 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old. Bitch. I'm here every day. I'm here every day throwing it up. I'm here every day taking it down. I'm here every day putting it back. I'm here every fucking day. The one thing I notice is that you ain't with me. That's the one thing I fucking notice. So, I mean, forgive me if I fell full to the use of the word community and doing the work and accountability and fault or responsibility. Excuse me. Maybe I actually thought you meant something by that. Maybe I'm fucking confused. Or maybe it's you. Or maybe it's all of us because communication, you know. I know I'm bringing random people into shit they don't know what the fuck is going on. But you know what? I'm tired of doing shit in the dark. You can come at me. Because I know your motherfucking little motherfuckers are still watching me. They still watching. I know that. Next part. Even if it's past, they still gonna catch up. So, next part. Or going back. When you got kicked out or they recognized that you were quit, it was still this, I'm gonna protect you. There's still a sense that I'm gonna guard you. I'm gonna keep you. I hear a lot of niggas these days say, I'm not my brother keeper. I got a question. When your ass get old and that social security ain't coming through, who gonna keep you? Or you don't care about that. You such a savage. You so smart. You so intelligent. You securing so many bags. They give us the numbers on black wealth and where you spend that money, unaccounted for or accounted for. You know, I think a lot of motherfuckers are lying. You got an incorporated business? Or you just selling weed? I mean, weed's nice and everything, but shit, we abusing her too. Like, you know where I live. Because I got questions. Because this you equals you shit is not the response you give to somebody who's been sexually assaulted. And is trying to get fucking answers. Because I think, can you sue people in DC for a deadly weapon? That's what they say. Like, when you have HIV and you know you have it, then it could be considered a deadly weapon. But when you're, what's the word again? It's not inconclusive. You undetectable. When you're undetectable, as far as I know, he says he is. I don't know what the fuck anybody is, right? That's shady, right? But that's just the truth of my reality. It's so weird. It's like we got to the place where you can't say things, and you can say things, but you can't mean them. Or when you mean them, you have to say something different than what you actually meant to say. And this is kind of shit I'm getting away from. Like, trust me, it's not too much longer I'm going to be on YouTube or any of this shit. Like, but you'll see me, but I'm not going to be directly interacting with it. Because something's weird. Is anybody walking outside and just noticing there's a difference in the atmosphere? Is anybody noticing this? Yeah, we have to be politically correct. My thing is, you know, it's like this. Like, language where I live was everywhere. The way we spoke, everybody knew it, whether or not they partook in that lifestyle or whether they were affluent or not. They knew what motherfuckers were saying when they said motherfuckers. You know, and they didn't get offended and these little fucking yuppies that have come to the area piss me off. These little yuppies, these little black yuppies, these black gentrifiers, these motherfuckers. I'm all for change and improvement and gaining affluence, but these motherfuckers came back, and especially these little motherfucking activist rings, they came back or came here, and they're just full of themselves. Full of themselves. I even heard one motherfucker that nobody will cross the bridge, nobody will cross the bridge, and you won't cross the bridge in your fucking heart or your mind or your body, whatever the case may be. You're not crossing that bridge neither, baby. So you can keep saying that you came over to a low-income area, that you came over to see me, motherfucker, you haven't seen me yet. So about this being politically correct, yeah, I'm learning that I can't speak my native language in a lot of places. It's literally criminal. Whether or not they say it's criminal, it's associated with blackness, which is associated with criminality or a particular type of blackness, right? Where I have to speak like this, and I don't often prefer it. I do not prefer to speak in this way because it's uppity as fuck, okay? It's uppity as hell. And it throws a lot of people off. And to me, it's unattractive. It's not attractive to me to, and then, first of all, I can speak better. Even better than what I'm offering now. I write even better than that. Fuck y'all. I don't care. You don't deserve the shit from me. The fuck I'm gonna spend all this time writing for you. Speaking correctly for you. Was you here in the gym? So now, no, man, but we can't speak our native languages, you know, outside of our own homes nowadays because it's like the internet has, more people have discovered the internet and value the internet, whereas before it was like, get off that, you know, like, yeah, get off it. Now the internet is everywhere on every fucking device. So anything that has electricity has fucking Wi-Fi on it, or some type of internet capability. So now we're under a lot more scrutiny than we used to be. And so to that, where we could talk about the gay culture, the white gay culture and the black MSM culture, which were two different things. But let's say the gay culture, and not talking about black MSM culture, two different things. But again, the gay culture, where there's this character, right? There's this characterization of an obsession with appearances, how one looks, how one lifestyle, how one lives, you know, how one even suggests that they are, you know, like reading people and carrying people and dragging people is oftentimes built upon or interacted within this arena in which it's assumed or supported or suggested that each player, each motherfucker that's about to roll on the next bitch is, you know, debonair, has money, has style, has affluence, has influence, and has grasped the masterful concepts of identity and politics and showing up. And, you know, basically this is somebody who could mentor another motherfucking person. This is somebody who, if they made an investment in you, they can make you famous or they can make you of value. You know, that's assumed that the people who are entering into these battles, they have that right to even get there, you know, to even start carrying people. But the thing is, we ain't. Most of these motherfuckers don't have what they look like they got. Most of these motherfuckers, apartments and homes are empty. Most of these motherfuckers aren't eating every day of the week. And let me add, most of these motherfuckers also have HIV and possibly other undiagnosed physical, like health diseases or mental, emotional diseases or disorders or dysfunctions. And that to me is a sad reality, but not the type of sad where it's like, oh, you're sad. It's sad in the sense that, like, that's harsh. That is a harsh reality because, like I told my father, I said, if I become a therapist or a psychiatrist or a doctor or a nurse, I have to treat myself and the people around me who are, you know, kind of going through these similar things. And so you talk about being a leader or a leather person or a dominant or what the fuck ever you are supposing you are. That should be sad that you put yourself in this position and you care none of it. When given the opportunity to rise and to be be complicit in being a healing component in someone's life, instead of going forward and facing those wolves, you turn around and tell them they're sad for even trying. They're sad for wanting to. Maybe you don't understand what a mental break actually means. It means you're having a break in your mentalism, your mentality, your sense of self. That's not something one does willfully. That's not something I do willfully. That's not something that I want people to see because I understand how dangerous the characterization of an identity. I've been masculine or masquerade my entire life. I've always been given a different type of responsibility with my emotions and how I carry myself and present myself and whether or not my pants are my ankles or just above or just below my ass. So you think I would drag myself by putting that shit out there? You're sad for not realizing I actually genuinely needed and wanted and thought that I had enough respect amongst you and other individuals within the community to get genuine fucking concerned help. That's sad. That I believed in you. What's sad is that I thought motherfuckers meant the words that they were saying. What's sad is that I thought we understood that there's a lot of shit going on in this world, but there's a reason why we have come to this space or these spaces. There's a reason why we have considered ourselves whatever the fuck we were calling ourselves for that time. There's a reason why. And let me remind you, I never made no threats. You might not like what I said, but you definitely made threats. And I'm thinking, should I continue forward with humility and to continue to try and do what I'm doing right now, speaking very fucking honestly, like I was before? Or should I just push them papers like you did on me and tell people bullshit about your mental health? I've been betrayed a lot of kinds of ways. That was the first one. Because as soon as I got into DC, they violated my rights immediately. What the fuck? You put in harm reduction. Like, I'm still blown. Like, harm reduction. What is harm reduction? What is harm reduction? Thank you. Speak your truth. You are the first person who has said that to me in a while. Thank you. I wish I had heard that when I was trying to get help. In spaces that, in other ways, had been helpful to me. Truly. If you're having a bad dream, maybe. My boy knocked out. You see? He knocked out. That's his chest right there. Wait. That's his little chest. His pause. He knocked out. Yes, thank you, precious young. So I learned how to be diplomatic. I learned how to be forgiving. I learned how to speak more gently. I learned how to not be so vulgar. But the truth is, I'm a cussing motherfucker. I am somebody you don't want to cross. Because the thing is, I proved myself to be loyal. And what's disgusting even more is that the people around you didn't stand up to say, you know what, you might want to reconsider that. You had a nigga who always had your back. You had a nigga who hardly complained. And what do you say to somebody who you know is pretty vulnerable in society and in the system? You tell him he chose to be a victim. I am so glad you said that because it made me jump out of bed like I got smacked by God. And I got up and said, thank you for showing me I'm better than that. Because I could have, well, in my world, there's no way I could have believed you because that was just sad because that wasn't true. I've chosen to overcome every fucking thing in my life. It's just, I got a lot to do. You know, when you actually give a fuck about your family, you got a little extra baggage and weight you gotta carry. You think about yourself before you know, get involved yourself in certain things. You think about who you bring around and why you're bringing them. I invited you into my family spaces. Like my blood family, not these niggas. Whatever those roaches. Yes, I said roaches. Fuck them little things. Not even that. I actually respect roaches. There's nothing on this earth which I respect less than them niggas you roll with. Nothing on this earth. I appreciate God and all these things. But there's nothing on this earth I respect less than a punk ass nigga. I hope you felt that. I hope anybody was like, did he just say that? Yeah, because I really got some questions. I really got some questions. And if y'all are adults, some of y'all fucking over 50 years old. Over 50 fucking years old. And you see some children doing some childish things. You check them. And you help that situation. In the state that we're in right now, with what's going on, not just the black men, because they're doing shit to black women. let me promise you, they're not going to write down those statistics. Like, you niggas are delusional. What's happening right now is another type of genocide. A mental genocide, an intellectual genocide, an empathic, emotional, emphatic genocide that's happening. A genocide where the best thing everyone thinks they can do is to worry about themselves. But when you cross that bridge, who the fuck? What are you rebuilding? What is there? What's there? Who's there for you? Who's protecting your door? Who's making sure you waking up out your sleep at night? Who's making sure you're warm? Who's making sure you're fed? And helping you take off shit that's on your long list of things to do. That's what we're all here for. Because each and every one of us could probably survive. We might have different looks to our survival and how fancy it can be, how elaborate it can become. But we can all fucking survive. We can. And what's that old proverb? If you want to go faster, go by yourself. If you want to go farther, go with others. And I really had to learn to teach myself to take that to heart because I'm worse than you. I'm worse than you. I'm so much more worse than you. I will not ask for help. Or when I ask for help, I'm not actually asking for help. I literally have created a very small space for you to do exactly what I'm expecting you to do. And I don't have to tell you nothing more than what I want or need to be done. I'm compartmentalized to the point that you didn't even know I was a good compartmentalizer. Like, I'll come back to address this because I hope to God we fix this situation going forward. I hope to God we do. Because it's not about me. It's not about you. It's not about that motherfucker who did the shit. And it's not about your other motherfucker who was in your house who did the shit to me then too. It's not about none of that. It's about the fact that we're creating patterns. And we're creating a history and we're creating a narrative. So years from now, if this shit ain't fixed, I'm going to keep saying fuck every single last one of you. And you don't know who I am or who I'm going to become in that year's time. 10 years time. The 10 years you said, right? You don't know who or what I'm going to become, what I'm going to achieve, what I'm going to aspire to, what I'm already capable of, and what I'm just not pulling that trigger on. Pushing that button. Saying, yeah, go do that. Not no threats. I don't fucking harm people. Like, come on. You came into my city. Like, this is my city. If it was really about that, that could have been done. But no, instead I'm just gonna fucking just slightly harass you so I can get some fucking help. Like you said you were offering. You know, I didn't do anything outside of the boundary of what you said you was finna do. But obviously, when you say you're gonna do something, you take that back and you put a clause in there. And then you expect people to abide by a new clause. That wasn't there. That wasn't the path of how we got there. Like, this shit is complex. I really want motherfuckers to have a real conversation. Because if we talking, then we talking. Not doing this pushing paper shit. Who the fuck? What? niggas get. I ain't never come from a place where niggas get restraining orders. Like niggas don't call the cops out here. Like that's where I'm from. Niggas don't call the cops. Cause first of all, DC government ain't shit, and it ain't been shit, and it ain't about to be shit. Like, but perhaps you knew that. But I hope wherever you at, I hope you're not drowning. I hope you sink until you learn to swim. I really do. Because I'm learning the same things. I'm learning to stay away from motherfuckers, complicated motherfuckers like you. I'm learning that words are just words to those type of individuals. I'm not going to stop believing in love. I'm not going to stop believing in being loyal. And no, I don't believe loyal to a fault. No, loyal is loyal, bitch. Loyal to a fault. No, loyal is loyal. So I'm going to spend this time talking about this, but what I'm doing is connecting dots between very abstract points. But what I'm saying is, we have a history of patterns in our communities, and if you pay attention to patterns, you will start to see where each and every one of us have become what it is that we have become when we went to sleep and when we woke the fuck up. And if we start to address these patterns, then we don't have to be so concerned about the illnesses or the symptoms or the environment. When you start to be aware of the patterns, what you gotta do is say, I noticed, at the 50th mile, you use your left foot. Use your right. I promise you it'll benefit you. And you'll get a completely different world and universe of results. So I did that thing in my life where I usually don't say nothing. When that first incident happened with Mark, because last time it was an issue, I wasn't naming names, I'll name names. So when that first incident happened with Mark, we don't know what Mark. It could be any Mark in the world, so don't fucking pull your bullshit. Go notifying people and then causing issues because you're that fucking much of a mess. And I'm putting this in the video just in case. When that first incident happened, you didn't know what the truth was. You know why? Because I don't depend on my community to help me do shit. I went back to that motherfucker's house. I went to his house. Shared a bed with him. To take back my dignity. I told him no. I got to do that for myself. I went there with my own fucking gas money, my own fucking vehicle. And I went there by my fucking self. And I fixed something for myself. But when it happened again, with someone who's probably a member of your organization now, who knows? But I heard he's having some health issues, and I hope that he's okay and getting attention, but who knows? I'll check in for myself. It's weird to be around people who tell you your compassion is a fault, who tell you empathy is a bad thing. No, they're bad. Let me tell you. Sensitive person, it's not you. It's the people who are telling you this. Get the fuck from around them. You're tough as shit. You know that. And I say this like, to be spoken down by a motherfucker don't even bother me that much. Like, I'm used to it. And it's sad. That's sad that I'm used to incompetence, pettiness, bullshit, screenshot conversations but no resolve for it. Motherfuckers love to laugh exactly where they should be learning to cry. I can see right through every single one of you, and I fucking hate it. I absolutely hate it. Sometimes that's why I close my eyes, because I see too much. I receive too much information. I see too many colors. I hear too many things. I feel. I'm aware. That's what it's called. I am aware. When you're fully processing, or you're an organism and you process information and you know that information in yourself, it's easier to recognize in other people. But, that's what you would say, right? So I had to learn how to not feel like I knew everything, because I'm not a know-it-all. I just have a knowingness of myself, and a desire to keep being person who in 10 years is gonna fuck you over if you don't fix this shit right now. That gives me so much pleasure, you know, because that's who I am, right? Petty, uncaring, unkind, and know-it-all. We are absolutely the same person, you know. We are similar. We observe similar patterns. But the issue is that we choose entirely different responses. And I know you know that because you'll be like, oh, I got my apartment, you don't. Oh, I got this, you don't. But there's so much more that I'm trying to grasp that little shit you're talking about don't matter. That apartment ain't shit. You know that. The understanding of depression. Understanding. They always say, get out of it, get out of it. I've had depression most of my life, so I didn't have a choice to get out of it. Some of it was, a lot of it was hormonal. The other bulk of it was environmental, and also due to just not knowing what I need, what my organism requires. I absolutely have to have a certain amount of hours in exercise and physical activity. And that changes based on the time of the month because I do have that cycle. So I have to learn this. I don't want to suppress it, you know. I tried to suppress it, you know, in my transition, you know, staying on the hormone in spite of my body saying, nah, this is getting frustrated. This is getting too complicated. You know, it wasn't a mistake. It just after a while, the complications were growing and the answers were far few between. The answers were coming less and less. So I was like, hey, doctor, is this going to hurt me? We don't know. Hey, doc, what do you know? We don't know. I got to stop. I got to stop with this pharmaceutical industry then. I'm not doing this we don't know shit and then my child ends up with fucking retardation because we don't know. And again, I'm not marking the retardation as an illness. I'm marking the symptom of take these pills, we don't know, as the illness, as the problem. Being upset at the word retardation. I'm very comfortable with the word retardant because of being next to a construction worker or a carpenter most of my life. So when we talk about retardants, we're talking about the actual process of slowness, like slowing something down. Having a learning disability or a growth disability or a hindrance, a learning hindrance or a growth hindrance is a retardation. But I'm very aware that some people have used that to be so nasty that to even hear the word to people it's vicious, regardless of the usage of it, right? I'm going to say I'm sorry that happened to people. I am. I'm sensitive to it. I have people in my family who have special needs. And to whom I hope one day I may humbly serve. I really do hope so. Because they deserve it, you know. They deserve it. And I want to learn, you know. They have, well, I'm thinking specifically of my cousin. He has his own unique language. We all have a unique language, but I'm interested in his because I'm watching it develop more slowly. I'm just aghast right here in front of you. I am losing my sense of care of filtering my primal needs and energies because this whole we gotta be up in here, we gotta be in the head, we gotta be in the mind. Y'all are losing your shits. Like, you get your shit together. You're losing it. Because there's no fucking way that we should wind up here in this situation that we're in, where you're talking about, again, a whole entire generation that grew up on the back end of people who were dying from these drugs, dying from certain activities, dying from health issues. And now when someone's saying, oh shit, I almost crashed, that shook me. I almost crashed. That shook me. And all anybody can say is, oh, that's sad. Woo! You just lit a fire. You just blazed the trail. You weren't even aware you was blazing. I appreciate you for that. Because I know even in my analogy, you might think back to the fact that you were driving my vehicle, the brakes malfunctioned, and you could have crashed. And once I finally grasped that, it took a while. Once I finally grasped it, I was upset that I did not give you the proper response. And that even when you let me know that, I still wasn't able to respond. I'm just going to be honest. I am absolutely emotionally crippled by you. I don't share my emotions with you at all. You're a horrible emotional critic of yourself. It's not about how you read other people. It's about you. Oh, I'm doing the thing you do. It's not enjoyable, is it? So, say what you want. Drag me if you like. I'm not here to drag nobody. I'm here to get the shit fucking together. This motherfucker's coming back out their graves right now, and we got a lot of shit to do. So, I'm just gonna say this: like, when you get buried with all your worldly possessions that mean a lot to you, so that when you travel the world, you still feel connected to that person that you were. And I hope that when you travel with that person, like with whatever you get buried with, I hope it doesn't burn you. I hope that it builds you, that it builds bridges, that it opens doors. I hope that you see life sprout all around you. And I'm saying this sort of worried that it won't happen. And I'm also wondering if you're even concerned and if you think that there's something you should be concerned about or mindful of, because who you are right now ain't guaranteed to wake up tomorrow, but you'll keep going. And you're going to have the inheritance of all the things you have done in your past. And the thing is, you're not seeking review of it. I respect you as a leader. I respect you in your power. I respect you in your light, in your darkness. I was there for a reason. I wasn't just there because I manifested, because you made a wish someday. I was there. Not even just seeing somebody from my past in the way you might have seen me, seeing yourself when you looked at me. I was there for past, present, and future. For what had come. For what we're only entering into commission before the next intermission, entering intermission before the next show begins. So, I'm doing my work my best as I can, but I'm learning that I have to not, I can't have only faith in my hands, but I have to have faith in my power. And I'm going to say this right now. I'm not offering no fucking apologies to nobody for nothing. I do pray that the youth are spoken into, that they are so much more powerful than anybody wants to tell them. And I hope they blow everything the fuck up in realization of it. I hope that we're not, us people, we survive that shit that's coming. But this great nation has had a lot of things come into it that it deserves. For every bomb it dropped over move, for every bullet shot, for every idea consecrated, for every bullshit interaction, this country is getting that repayment. And let's just say it doesn't mean it's going to be in our favor. However, whatever gets dished out, it's not necessarily going to be in our favor just because we here. It's going to go to whoever the fuck grasps it next. It's going to go to whoever who was able to grasp it. And it doesn't matter how much pain you went through, how much you've overcome. It's about how altruistic you are or are attempting to be. I wish you the best. I mean, all of you, everybody. When I say community, I fucking mean that. Like, I'm not a part of a heterosexual community. I can be read as that, and I could probably give more experience about being heterosexual than, perhaps another person who came from a lesbian experience. But in my age limit, I'm only 28, so. But I'm not. So when I say community, I mean what I mean. When I said, I think the people who know what I mean, when they look at me, they know exactly who I'm talking about, and they know it's them. When I say, you know it's you, when I say community that I'm talking about. Whether or not I've actually spoken to you, whoever you are watching. And that's that realness that I come with, and a lot of people around me appreciate that. And I know it sounds tacky and branded when I say that, oh, that's that realness, but like, no, that's that real shit, and it is what it is. That's why I wanted to do the real tea, the real, Xavier Live. I wanted to do all this stuff, but I had to put it on hold. Healthy mentality and everything. I just am continually shocked and surprised at the person who I see when I see myself. I am. I'm always, every few years, proud that I'm surviving myself. That I'm learning how to be a sensitive person and be a human being. Realness will always be respected. Not always. Unfortunately, I've learned. That's what I've learned. It won't always be respected. But I guess if I was being real, I would have made threats. If I was being real, I would have said a lot of things I didn't mean. I mean, being real, that's how I felt. But those weren't the words I wanted to say. Even the words where I went to the extent of saying fuck you over and over again. I didn't want to. But this being needed it to be said. Because like I said, the Precious Gem 143 said to me, speak your truth. And like I said, it's been a while since anybody said that to me. And it means a lot to me to hear that at any time. Anytime, because everything around me matters. I'm very influential, but with being influential means you are influenced. It's a very symbiotic relationship. It's a mutual relationship that happens to everything in the universe. And if I gave you something, trust me, I was able to take it. It's as simple as that. So if you say I gave you something, I was able to take that from you. I was able to receive that from you, or literally take that, extract that from you, because that's the type of person I am. Even with all my downfalls and the shit that I've done, there's still a number of things which will consistently be said about me. And as I get older and continue to improve myself, I hope that the words spoken of me continue to be greater and greater. And I, again, hope that individuals, businesses, whoever, whatever, can continue to do and say the same thing about you. And if they haven't done that yet, I hope they get inspired to. But I hope they mean it, and that you have been vetted and held accountable for your actions. Because before you move on and get this, or that, it needs to be sought. How did you handle that? What happened? What went on there? What do you know of the situation? And if you cannot answer those questions properly, y'all know where to find me. Call me. Everybody got my number. Everybody got my Facebook. Everybody got my information. You know my address, and I'm around the area. All you gotta do is put up a poster. Eventually, I'll see it, or somebody will let me know, hey, somebody looking for you in the area. It's like that. Like, niggas really be looking out for me. Motherfuckers I don't even know really be looking out for me. That's great. That's the weirdest, craziest thing for me again. But I got some storytelling that I'm gonna start doing with y'all real soon. It's funny as shit. I actually helping my mom do some spring cleaning, and I found a bunch of youth pictures. I found pictures from my youth, and I got stories to tell that I haven't told. And I'm doing this as a part of my own mental health plan, and a part of my own therapy, where I am aware that this is going to be released unto the public. This can go anywhere. I'm going to say it, and I hope that people do create call outs of anything that I say in the videos in order to assist themselves or others to finding some type of source of power, or some type of peace, or somebody to say the words that they won't say because they think not saying them helps them maintain their holiness and sanctity. I hope somebody is going to say the things that nobody else is going to say. And I'm out here not just talking words. I'm not just here to preach. I'm saying those real things because those things are real to me. So when I start sharing with y'all, I'm always aware of any number of interactions and being a possibility. I'm always aware that I might be dragged all over the fucking universe because I look like what they say, the fucking transvestite Tupac who was tricking in New York. And like, to me, that sounds fucking, like, that don't sound horrible, but I don't, that's not me. I don't know who you was thinking about. That's not me. It's because I'm wearing a jersey because it's hot, right? Fuck. Look. So that being said, it's been an hour. Y'all have been really gracious. an audience. I'm thankful for you. I'm always going to end my videos like this because I really mean it. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. I will talk to you all later. Peace.